All right, thank you for staying with us. It's still Sports Tonight, and we're moving on very quickly. It's time for us to introduce to you our guest who has made his way down from Ilorin, Kwara State, Yinka Wulewa. Yinka Wulewa, our very good friend. We read his comments on Twitter almost on a daily basis on Sports Tonight, and he's happy, and we are also happy that he's here in flesh and blood. Not through Twitter this time. Yinka Wulewa, good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Well, it's good to be here, Toyi. It's good to be here. It's been a long journey, but at least we have to be
it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yinka is also the media officer of the Afonja Warriors.
Yeah, you're right.
Kwara United.
The darling team of Kwara.
The darling team of Kwara. We're going to be asking you about the chances. The chances are looking good, we know, from the table of Kwara returning to the Globe Premier League. But before we do that, let's talk about the main issue that has brought you to Sports Tonight. The Kwara Sports Summit.
Yeah.
What's the idea behind the Kwara Sports Summit? Why are you doing it? Tell us about it, and what are the plans on the ground to make it a huge success?
Okay, well, thank you so much. So you're part of Kwara before. You know how sports
I grew up in yeah, I was saying it. I mean, the Olapada Denekons, the Sunday Badders. I mean, a whole lot of stars, superstars.
Yeah. So you're part of the system before, and you know how it is in Kwara before now. One way or the other relegated to the background as far as that is concerned. But all thanks to the Kwara State governor, who feel like, yes, there is a need for us to go back to the round table again, bring the old glory as far as sport is concerned back to Kwara State again. And the summit is a novel vision of the present administration in the area of sport for youth development and empowerment. This particular vision we are talking about is expected to be driven and next to fruition. The first ever Kwara Sports Summit, which is coming up starting from tomorrow through to Thursday. Tomorrow we have a youth carnival tomorrow, where youth from all the 16 local governments will be brought together, in under one umbrella. On Wednesday, the program, the summit proper will come up, and on Thursday, there will be a dinner and launching of a sports endowment fund, which is going to be put together with the consultant is looking at 1 billion naira, where you have the opportunity to put facilities in place for youths, not only from Kwara. If you are a Nigerian, that you are a resident in Kwara, you have opportunity to train and retrain and to activate your potential, be it in any sport. We're not looking at football alone. There'll be so much about football. The state government is looking beyond football, and this is some of what the sports summit is all about.
Oye is also itching to ask a few questions as a journalist that he is, but I know that, as you said, at the bottom of all of this is that endowment fund. That fund, we've talked about funding as a key issue in sports, removing funding from government, bringing the private sector in, so that you don't have itches, and then they can run it like a business.
Yeah, absolutely, Tony. When the private sector comes, continuity is guaranteed, because what we have seen in this part of the world is that a government can come and say, okay, I don't like what my predecessor. And
then you start afresh.
You scatter everything. So that's why the private sectors are scared, to identify, because they need mileage for whatever. They are not charitable organizations. When they put in their money, they want to get mileage for whatever they are putting in. So that's where I want to go to, my friend. The summit, we have had several summits in this country, even at the national level, some state governments, but at the end of the day, brilliant speeches, wonderful ideas, they are not brought into fruition. So what will be the difference with this?
What we've seen in the past, and what will happen this time around?
Yeah, well, like what Toyin said the other time, what we're looking at, what the state government is looking at right now is just to leave sports totally in entirety to private sector. And when they are leaving that to private sector, if you are being challenged. Now, this fund that they're about to raise is going to be in place. It's going to do something for the next 10 years. This is money, the money that they are going to raise is going to work for the next 10 years to see what this will be in a particular and it's going to be in the hand of the private sector to see how they can move it forward, because they know that when it is a government thing, there are so many difficulties in raising the standard of sports. That's why they're living in the hand of the private sector this time around.
I mean, when we were growing up those days, when we were growing up in Ilorin, at the stadium, you see a lot of young athletes, and it wasn't a surprise that the Olapada Denekons, the Alade Fars, the Akeremi sisters came out of such a program. But nowadays, you hardly see such things. These days, I mean, there's an Olympic-sized swimming pool at the Ilorin Stadium.
Yeah.
A lot of activities. Softball and baseball has its roots in Ilorin, for example.
Even cricket.
Cricket.
Yeah.
Ilorin used to be the hotbed of some mecca of sorts.
These are some of what the summit, the funds raised from the summit will take care of. There's a need for us. You know how poor sporting facilities it is in Nigeria. So some of these funds raised from this particular summit will be used to take care of, putting the facilities at the Kwara Stadium complex in place. Remember, that was the only stadium in the country, as time to be corrected, that can host at least about 12, 13 sports, simultaneously at a time. You talk about basketball, badminton, table tennis, swimming pool, basketball, volleyball, squash. Some of these things, we still have some of these facilities in place there, but funds raised from this summit will be used to put the facilities in a world class, which is going to serve as an opportunity for athletes, for Nigerians who are residents in Kwara, that are wanting to be like the Falila Togunkoya, like the Aruna Kaudri and co, to harness their potential, to activate their dream.
Well, let me read a few comments on Twitter, because a lot of comments are coming through and I don't want to lose track of some of them. Some are asking about Stephen Keshi, and this one from Darlington Amadi says, Keshi, why is Keshi thinking he holds the solution to Nigeria's football? I don't understand that. He can't disregard the feelings and the advice of Nigerians. Okay, maybe Darlington wants to toe your line that Keshi should look at some of these players now and not limit himself to certain players, spread your net wide and look for those who are active, who can deliver.
Obviously, you need to give competition to certain players who have become complacent, who now feel that they can walk in without doing much, get a certain place in the team. So you need to put them on their toes by getting players who are even better than them. That is the way to go. But when you bring players who sit on the bench, then the ones who are playing can say, after all, I will still play. Whether I like it or whether I do well or not, I will play. So we need players who are better than the ones who are playing now, so that there will be stiff competition, healthy competition in the team. And Nigeria will be better for it if all of them, all the 23